Hello, 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 boys and girls. Itai here. We are in Paris with our beautiful Super Constellation with Pan Am. It is now sometime in the 1950s, and we are doing the circle round the world trip with Pan American. Just a quick reminder, this is the second time round I'm doing such a thing. I've already completed a circumnavigation with a DC-6 previously. That was eastbound on the proper Pan American round the world schedules and stuff. Well, not exactly. I tweaked it a little bit to match kind of my streaming times. However, this time I did it with the Super Constellation by RedWing Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's been fantastic. I really like this airplane. It's very unique in its challenges. However, if you can wrap your head around all the moving parts of this airplane, I like how they still made it very accessible to just get up there and cruise around the world. It's not too involved, in my opinion. I feel like I can kind of use the AI to the extent that it's convenient to me. Again, not. I like to keep things realistic, and realistically, you had the crew of 4 people to fly this thing, right? We've had the captain, which I guess it's us, right? Then the co-pilot, the navigator, the flight engineer, together with the flight attendants and everything. So you would not do things on your own. So I really like how they've implemented the level of complexity with this airplane. Well, hello. Can I please get in? Oh, I guess we'll do it this way then. Yeah. So as I said, so this time it's a bit different. It's not as much. Well, hello again. See what I did there? I kind of moved away around you. So we have got into the airplane, and it's it's not as long of a trip as it usually is with my streams. It's just a kind of a short hop to Shannon, and if I have time after the Shannon leg, I will do the New York Shannon to New York crossing the pond leg. So you can see that scheduled. It's going to be a separate stream right after this one, hopefully. So that being said, today, after a magical couple of days here in Paris, we're continuing to Shannon. I'll show you the flight plan in just a little bit. I just want to get things moving here and get the okay to board and kind of review the numbers a little bit. Yes, can I help you? Well, no. Okay, thank you. Okay. So let's see who's here while I can. So Flying Barbarian. Yeah, first of all, glad to have you here. it is a complex airplane. There's a lot to have to wrap your head around, but there's a lot of help with this little clipboard here. So first things first, let's see the ground and the fuel. I picked the national flight because we are doing the 107 decimal 9,000 pounds with let's see, maybe I'm missing here. Is there a quick way to see how many people are there without me actually physically counting every single one here? I'm not sure. Anyway, these closely resemble the numbers that I can see in the flight plan, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So I picked the national flight. We're looking at 13.2 fuel pounds of fuel, and the status of the airplane, everything looks good. I did refill the oil, which means we can get the flight engineer to start working on the before starting checklist, and in the meantime I'll get a nice view to show you
battery on.
Let's see, yeah, we can do that for now, and I can show you the flight plan. Just want to see what it's doing. So yeah, flying Barbarian, you can see it's already doing a bunch of stuff for us.
On and okay. Ground power connected. All services checked. Removed. Ground power.
And
parking brake. Check and set. Aileron and rudder boosters.
J-Van relief crew. That's it's funny, but yeah, in a way, when you get up there to cruise, you can kind of set and forget it. It's not going away from you if you set everything correctly to begin with. I do set the timer on my phone to come kind of revisit it during cruise, especially during the long cruise, so I can come and check that everything is okay. Other than that, come on, guys.
Open.
I just want to get them to finish the checklist so I can show you the flight plan without the background noises.
Emergency cut-off levers on.
Actually, let's move to the cabin for that.
Fuel tank selectors.
Yeah, that's what I see.
3, 4, on.
Just before the passengers show up.
Coal flaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, open.
Yeah, Flying Barbarian. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed it out. It's kind of cool.
1, 2,
Oh, you can actually
3,
see how the cowl flaps opened. That's cool. Yeah, I fly airliners in my real life. That's my real job, and I do enjoy them very, very much. But sometimes in the sim, I like to do some things different. Different challenges, different kind of raw flying. Also, I flew, part of my training, I flew a Seminole, which is a twin piston airplane, and to get my multi-engine rating. And this is essentially a big, huge Seminole with double the engines. So, like, yeah, it's a little bit more complex than that, but it behaves like a big, faster piston airplane in terms of behavior, yet it has the airline challenges. So I like it. It kind of touches very unique, specific points of my professional life. So yeah, now that we are sitting here, they're shutting up because I shouldn't say that. They did the job that I asked them to. So thanks, guys. And now I can show you. Here we go. So now I can show what we're doing. So we're Pan Am 3 flying from Paris to Shannon with the alternate of Dublin. It's an L1049 Golf, and departure is the 29th of January 24. Departing, 15 minutes ago, but life happens. And arriving 10:26 Zulu, so it's going to be more like 1100 Zulu. Airtime 228 in the air, block time, whatever. And climbing to 20,000 feet, and I'll show you why in just a second. We should have 47 passengers with a block fuel plan of 11.5. I've already showed you whatever it was. I think 13.2. So I did take some extra, and I'm glad to have it. Payload, which brings us to an estimated takeoff weight of 101.9, we'll call it, out of a max of 138.0. Max estimated landing weight is 95.3 out of 120. Zero is within limits as well, so nothing to worry about here. Weather, not much to worry about here. Cav okay, 6 degrees, 1027, light southerly winds. Here in Paris, no times are fine. Shannon, we're looking pretty much variable 3, more than 10 kilometers and a few 3,000, turning to light northern wind, which would prevail in the time of arrival. So this one persists for our time of arrival. As for our destination alternate, which is Dublin, I did look at others, but I wanted the fuel for Dublin, and then if we get stuck and we actually have to divert, we have the fuel for Dublin, but we can always elect to go somewhere else that's closer than Dublin. So what else? So in Dublin, looking right now, the 360 at 8, 9s, few 1200, broken 2000, prob 40 for the entire duration. There's a tempo for light rain drizzle, broken 1200 feet, and there's a prob 30 of tempo. Also in our time of arrival, roughly we're talking about 3000 visibility, light rain, broken 700. So those could be kind of interesting if we have to divert. As I said, it's legal alternate. We do have the fuel to get there. We don't have to divert there if the time actually comes to that. And becoming 030 at 11, which is actually the valid period of arrival. Excuse me. So alternates are fine. There's other alternates. So like I said, Cork looks good. It's kind of similar. Kind of marginal IFR, kind of IFR, but on the higher end. There's Kerry as well. Similar stuff, kind of a lower visibility over there. So, overall, looking at good weather, legal weather. Wouldn't actually go to the beach over there, but it's definitely way good enough for us to go. If we're looking at the significant weather, this is the significant weather from 0600 Zulu, so that's an hour and 47 ago. We are saying, so there's this big cloud over here. It's talking about moderate icing up to 19,000, which means that's why I kind of forced Simbrief to give us 20,000 feet for the cruise, which tells me that there's probably a lot of clouds. If you have 19,000 feet worth of icing, it means we're probably gonna see some. Yeah, here we go. What do I want to see? Reflectivity. Yeah, there's definitely stuff there. There's definitely clouds to avoid if we can. That's the icing. Let's get rid of that. And cloud cover. Yeah, there's definitely some stuff over here, but not too much in terms of the wind barbs at flight level 20 or flight level 200. Sorry. Yeah, kind of light from the south. Not really bothering us. Yeah, my son is here with us. That's awesome. That's for a relief crew. That's exactly what's happening here. So overall, good weather. So without further ado, guys, it's gonna be a pretty much straight shot departure. I'm gonna try to see. Yeah, we're going to depart to the west, which means we'll try to see the cool landmarks of Paris before heading out. And yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to be available at chat as well. Feel free to join me. And yeah, let's get things started and then give them the okay to, well, since I already gave them the okay to board, the bus should be here any second. So let's get away from the cabin here. And let's get out of their way and start prepping everything. In terms of the weather, we said it's 10:27, whatever it was. Let's actually take a look at the weather real quick. Here, so it is live weather. So if you're tracking live weather, that's what's gonna happen. So here in Charles de Gaulle, 170 at 7, Cav okay, 5 and 1027. Let's see what's 1027 in the altimeter. So it's 30, 33. And it's let's call it, let's say that it is matching the field elevation. Okay. 33. As for the heading gyro, 175, 175, 175. Cool. Fantastic. So everything is loaded in. Let's see that it is here. And by the way, I'm gonna stop rambling right around the PA to the passengers. So if you're still hoping for a quiet cruise concept, it's gonna be in just a little bit. It has a pretty simple, it's not even called an autopilot with how simple it is. It's called a gyro pilot in Flying Barbarian. You can see it's gonna be this and that, and you're definitely gonna see me use it after takeoff. Basically, we have it for the vertical control and the lateral control, and this is how much pitch do I have, this is how much roll do I have versus, or sorry, this is how much roll do I have, this is how I cage it. So it's very, very basic, but it works great, and I'm sure it doesn't work as well in real life. I'm sure it has more knickknacks and whatever, and things that it doesn't do too well, but in here it's kind of perfect. It's been able to take me on very long cruise along the GPS routes. Okay, everybody is here. We did verify the load sheet. We can look at it again. So if we take a look at the final load sheet, we're talking about so total payload of 13.9, total fuel of 13.2, which brings us to a total weight of 108.0. Let's call that, and that's within limits. Everything looks absolutely fantastic, which means we can call it for the end of boarding checklist.
End of boarding. Resume before startup checklist.
Fire warning system. 1. 2. 3. 4. Close all doors.
Checked.
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 Stairs.
Checked. Removed.
Chokes. Check. Checklist before starting engines complete.
Fantastic. We are all set, which means we can ask the flight engineer to please start all the engines.
Checklist starting engines. Position lights.
On.
Starter engine 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ignition engine 3. Hydraulic 2 to hydraulic 1 crossfit.
Checked. And OK.
Generator 3.
On.
Starter engine 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ignition engine 4. Generator 4.
On.
Starter engine 2.
1, 2,
Engine 1.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
Ignition Engine 1. Generator 1.
On.
Checklist starting engines completed.
David, absolutely. I do like the fact that I have the GPSs I can use. Could I use VORs the whole way? Which, by the way, I'm going to set now for the departure here. Yes, I could have. It's not completely realistic for one person to have to do that the entire way. So you have another person to help you. That's one, and you have the navigator to help you through longer stuff, or just in general. So the end result is, as a pilot, you're not supposed to do absolutely everything. That's actually wrong. That's the wrong way to do it. The correct way to fly is to have the other crew members help you, so you can actually focus on manipulating, the controls and the throttles, right? So you can actually look outside while the people are working for you in the cockpit. That's correct CRM. So yeah, that being said, I really like how things kind of worked out here in this with this nice add-on. That being said, just bear in mind, I'm not working for RedWing. I just enjoy this product, and I like flying it around the world and actually see the world using it. So yeah, it's a cool way to do that. In terms of yeah, the sounds are great. The airplane is great. I think it's a nice balance between a thing that we can just go up there and enjoy, versus an actual simulator that would kick your butt for every single little thing you're doing wrong. It's a good balance. There's certain freedom here. The systems are there. The engine's operations are there. The instruments are kind of okay. I wish the instruments, the flight instruments, would be a little bit better to fly with. High resolution, higher stuff. The gauges could be sometimes a little bit, crooked. Not talking about this. This is actually realistic, but I noticed some discrepancies with the altimeter. But yeah, in general, things are really looking great here. Anyway, let's talk to the passengers real quick, and then continue with the checklists. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. Welcome aboard Pan American flight number 3, going from here, Paris, to Shannon, Ireland. With me in the flight deck, we have my co-pilot, flight engineer, and flight navigator. And with you in the cabin, the 3 wonderful flight attendants. Please remember, they're here primarily for your safety, so you do listen to them. However, as long as everything is all right and relaxed and not in the critical phases, they'll be happy to provide you with the best service in the world. So please let us know if there's any other way we can make your flight even more enjoyable. We're just about to leave here. There's a few more checks we have to run, and then in about 15 minutes we should be airborne. 2 hours and 30 minutes in the air from takeoff to touchdown. Mostly smooth weather here and there, getting to clouds, which should generate some turbulence. Either way, I'm going to communicate this to you through the seatbelt signs. However, if you're just hanging out in your seats, we always recommend keeping the seatbelts on just in case. Thanks again for flying with us. On behalf of Pan American, World Airways, the entire crew, and myself, thanks for flying with us, and hope you have a good flight. Alright, warm-up checklist.
Checklist during warm-up. Pitot covers and gear pins.
All on board.
Ground power.
Off.
Battery and generators.
Checked.
Engine instruments.
Checked.
Autopilot gyro.
Engaged and released.
Radios. Set. Checklist warm-up completed.
Alright, in that case, we can skedaddle. We'll power out of here, power back out of here. and then continue taxi, and then run the rest of the checklist. We're taxiing to runway 26 left. Is it 26 left? Excuse me. No, 27 left. Excuse me. And 27 left. Probably gonna take Quebec 4 or Quebec 3. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Reverse. Reverse. Reverse.
Rotation.
That was violent. Anyway, that's nobody saw that, right? Alrighty. We're going to the right over here. Everything looks good, and resuming normal taxiing. The engines look okay. Checking the gyros, gyro instruments. Everything looks to be turning the right way. Testing the rudders, flight controls, the brakes. Everything looks absolutely fantastic. Auto gyro is caged. Flying Bavarian, the correct answer would be no one saw what. Oh. But I appreciate it. Alrighty, taxiing out of here. That's a good place to get the taxiing checks.
Checklist taxiing. Taxi lights.
On and extended.
Clock and altimeters. Set.
And set.
Brake selector lever.
Set.
All turn indicators.
Checked.
Checked. Proper reversing.
Reverse. Reverse.
Checked.
Checklist taxiing completed.
Yeah, we'll take the next one, not this one, but the next right would be our taxiway. Since we're getting close, let's get the before takeoff.
Checklist takeoff. Run up ignition.
1 completed. 2 completed. 3 completed. 4 completed.
Run up phasering.
Perfect timing. Oh, come on. There we go. Fantastic. We are clear for takeoff. Takeoff clearance.
Checklist takeoff clearance. Call flaps.
Set to 30%.
Controls.
3. No-go speed is 108 knots. Runway is dry.
Checklist takeoff completed.
Runway is clear as well. That's also nice to do. Nice to know. Another sip of the coffee. And the weather is nice. We'll definitely try to see from... I'll stay low initially to try to see the city. And after that we'll climb up to 20,000 feet. Everything looks good over here. Compasses, clocks, and here we go. Power to 30 inches. Max power.
Max power.
Roger. Max power.
Engines look good. Airspeed live. Knots.
No-go speed.
Rotation. Positive rate. Gear up.
Gear is up.
Fantastic. Meto power.
Veto power.
Roger. Meto power. Power set.
Flaps up.
Roger, flaps up.
We're shooting for 180 when the flaps are up and the climb power is set. The city is over there somewhere.
Flaps up.
Fantastic climb power.
Climb power.
Roger.
And let's level off at 2000, which is roughly 1500 AGL over here in the entire area.
Cruise power. Please.
Okay, level off here
Roger.
at 2000
Cruise power.
and set cruise power for now. To get my physical throttles back as well. Now let's see what we can see. Honestly, I should have set a waypoint there, but I think I can see the Eiffel Tower, so we're flying there. Kind of through the haze, it's kind of hazy here. Completely VFR. We can keep the altitude fantastic. Let's pretend it's a much less regulated era. And there it is, Eiffel Tower, city of Paris. So let's go over there, kind of circle it, kind of from south to the western area, to the western part, and then climb on out of here. Altitude is fine. Yeah, it's a nice flying machine. It's a nice flying machine. You can see what I'm talking about. It's very stable, and you can really just fly based on the horizon. Yeah, exactly. Flying barbarian in the cockpit. That's important. Oh, that's a famous church. I forgot what it's called. Right over there. If anybody remembers the name of that church, that would be awesome. Eiffel Tower is over there. We should see the Arc de Triomphe somewhere in the Champs-Élysées. Somewhere. I'm focusing on Eiffel Tower to be honest. And here's the Louvre. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. We are flying over beautiful city of Paris, and we're coming up on the Eiffel Tower, which we can very nicely see on the right side of the airplane. Enjoy the flight after that. Thank you. Here we go. That's a nice view, guys. Beautiful, beautiful view. Notre Dame, you know what? I'm not sure. I've been there. I just don't remember exactly where it is with the geography of the city. Alright, let's set cruise power, climb power. And climb out of here.
Roger.
About 41 inches on the throttle. Shooting for 180. Take one last view. Oh, that's beautiful, guys. That's absolutely beautiful. And no, that church was not Notre Dame. Not Notre Dame. I'm not sure where Notre Dame was. It should be on the river somewhere. I do remember walking there, but I couldn't tell you exactly where it is. Alright, let's set a pitch that's roughly good for climbing out of here. Not exactly on the we're not exactly instrument right now, so we'll just rejoin the GPS track, which means we want to set this to GPS here, and now this would represent the deviation from the GPS track. Oh yeah, I've no idea. J-Van, I don't know how often do they update these things. I mean, someone would physically have to update this model, and it's kind of controversial, I guess. It's kind of nice to pretend it's still there, you know, it's still fine. Alright, passing through 3,000, we're soon gonna hit the transition altitude, so once I set the autopilot, I'm just going to also transition to standard, well, to QNE, from QNH to QNE. You know what, why not? Let's set the autopilot. So we're still on that, so let's cage it, autopilot, and
Alright, he's engaged.
set this nice pitch attitude here. Flight engineer is still managing our stuff here, so we're climb power, and they're gonna also manage all of the cowl flaps, the oil cooler flaps, to manage the engine temperatures and stuff. I can cross-check it if I want to, guys, but that's very nice about the flight engineer. Once we get to cruise, I noticed that it tends to do some boo-boos in terms of fuel management. So the fuel, it looks like it's programmed to do a good job, but then something takes it out of the normal script, and then I have to manage it myself. So then I noticed that if I really want good fuel management, I need to take the AI flight engineer off, which means I also need to manage the fuel, which is not that hard, to be honest. It's just something to worry about. And also, as you can see, climb power is not beautifully set. I have to keep adjusting it. I think it also has to do with the coupling. It wants to go between whatever the flight engineer is doing and what my physical throttle is doing. As we're getting close on the route, let's couple it to actually keep the track. And we should probably get the pitch a little bit more because we're getting a little bit fast here, which means we have some energy that we can use. And here we go. It's intercepting the GPS track onwards towards northwestern France. The service ceiling of this aircraft is 24,000 feet. I did look at the performance charts, and it burns significantly more fuel when it gets in the 24,000. So it's rare that I would need it, that I would do it, or I would need to be very light in weight to actually for it to be actually worth climbing that high. But it is nice to have in terms of weather avoidance, like we're doing today. We're climbing to 20,000 to avoid weather, which is kind of nice. We also have nice de-ice and anti-ice features of this airplane, but it's just as it's always better to prevent icing than to avoid icing conditions than to deal with icing that you're actually encountering. And by the way, that's true to any aircraft even today, even nowadays. It's always better to avoid it. If you encounter it, there's some ice, anti-ice and de-ice, but the best protection is to just stay out of icing conditions. We have some higher clouds today, coupled with the kind of low temperature. Right now it's it's still kind of warm. That's weird. It's definitely not that warm. It was like 5 degrees Celsius on the ground. But yeah, well, if we go through moisture and it's cold outside, you're gonna get some icing on the airplane. So it's nice to have the measures to just use it and then to get to a place where you don't get icing anymore. Yeah, so there's the de-icing. It's not anti-icing, it's de-icing boots. It's right here. You have the NESA for the props. That's why it's on the electrical panel as well. There's window, hot air, and I forget what else. And of course, there's the carburetor heat that you can manipulate exactly where the air is being drawn into the engine, so you can be warmer air, so you can melt out any icing that can occur. So there's definitely measures you can take, but it's better not to have to use them. Okay, how we're looking in terms of climb power. 25 inches is fine. 2500 RPM with 41 inches. I noticed that the power settings are roughly there, but I can always do a better job fine-tuning it. So let's get rid of the AI flight engineer in terms of tuning the power, and I'm just going to do it myself. It's a good time to get the local altimeter setting. Excuse me, to get to Q&E, the standard altimeter setting. Here we go. See, this altimeter was set to much lower setting than the others were. That's definitely the AI flight engineer, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's just the displayed gauge is inaccurate, or the AI flight engineer is setting an inaccurate setting. Either way, it's setting something. Just something is not correct here. Oil cooler flaps. Yeah, outlets, you see the oil outlet is a little bit on the higher side. It's still managed by the flight engineer. So I'm not going to touch it right now, but maybe I'll manipulate it a little bit during cruise. We have to watch when transitioning through 10,000 feet because we're transitioning to the gear is transitioning to the high blower settings, which means we're going to get a huge power boost and we need to not blow up the engine. So just before 10,000, I'm going to lower the throttle to around 32 or so. So when we get that boost, it would get us back to 41. Yeah, definitely pitot heats, J-Van. Get it lower here, just watching the speed not decaying on us. 10,000, let's see that manifold pressure getting boosted up, there we go. And correcting the throttle back to 41 inches. And here we go, transition is complete, speed is looking good. Altitude is climbing nicely. And we can pitch down just ever so slightly, just so we can regain that speed. We're doing nicely en route. So normally we're flying right now to the VOR, but the GPS is managing it. So could I do it with the VOR? Yes, I can. I can tune it and set it. It's fine. It's just to me right now. It's not an ability that I'm trying to retain. It's just honestly just hard work. So I'm happy that the GPS is there with the autopilot. There's enough to do, and that's a little bit of a tedious work for me right now. I could definitely fly the entire way with that. If anything, there's very cool videos. There's very cool videos of people flying across oceans with celestial navigations, using old airplanes like that. That's really cool. That's it's definitely interesting to me, but it's just a little bit too hands-on for me in terms of doing it the whole way. So yeah, I like to keep it like nice and chill, so I can kind of enjoy flying and not having to constantly do a work that was essentially, did the pilots know how to do that? Yes, but it's a constant, you have to constantly deal with the numbers and constantly recalculate and prepare for the next observation and all that stuff. That's definitely a very hands-on job, and that's why there used to be a flight navigator, and that's their job. Their job was to actually get all these numbers ready and prepared for the sextant observations and all that stuff. So it's a profession. And is it interesting to me? Yes, on a theoretical level. Do I want to keep doing this an entire 12-hour flight long? No, not really. Same for their Loran and Omega, all the navigation systems. I kind of know how to do that. It's definitely a nice thing to get interested in and kind of sharpen the knowledge. But it's a profession I very much respect. I would not want to do that. Well, is it interesting to me? Yes, but I prefer just flying. So I'm flying the airplane, and I have tiny little helpers that help me with other stuff as well. So as you can see, excuse me, as you can see, the AI flight engineer is still on, but I put it to no manage, which means I'm managing the power settings. They're just doing everything else. So we can see the cylinder head temperatures are fine. So I'm happy with what they're doing here. The oil outlet temperatures are on the higher side. So I'm not gonna mess with it right now, but I'm just going to verify that when we get to cruise power, I'm happy with what is being set. Speaking of which, let's take a look at, I'm going to close that for now. Let's take a look at the power settings. So right now we're climbing. We want to do we're doing high blower climb power, so it's 2600 RPM. We need somewhere throughout here, BMEP of around 200 with 2600. So let's do that. So 2600 RP. So 2600 RPM is right there, and BMEP of right around 200, and just keep it there. So that would be a nice climb power. with the high blower. Now, as for cruise power, when we get there, so we're looking at 20,000 feet, 20,000 feet of altitude. Let's call it 110,000 pounds. So we're looking at 160 BMEP with 2250 RPM. Let's write it down somewhere. BMEP of 160, RPM of 2250. That would give us 250 knots of true airspeed. Mixture is going to be lean, so that's going to be handled by the AI flight engineer when we get there. Blower is high and fuel flow is 630 pounds per hour per engine. So let's make sure, yeah, you see the AI flight engineer is leaning the engines as we're climbing. We still have good amounts of fuel on the, we're drawing fuel from 1, 2, 3, and 4 respectively. And we're getting kind of low on 2 and 3, so when we get to cruise we'll just switch it to 1, 2A, 3A, and 4 respectively. So this, you see, there's a lot to do in this airplane, but you can manage it very nicely in a kind of realistic extent. But I don't have to sit here and just do minute things that would not, honestly, that a real pilot would not actually actively do that the whole time. See, as we're climbing, we need to increase the throttles to maintain the 200 BMEPs that we want here. And 16,000, we're climbing all the way to 20. We just have to keep watch of that. So let's see, we need roughly 36 inches of manifold pressure. So we'll keep that going. When we get to cruise, I'll just let you enjoy the flight a little bit, enjoy the service. I'm gonna grab another something to eat or something. I'm gonna ask the flight attendants to bring it, so I'll let you. You can either stay in the cockpit if you want, but I'm definitely gonna grab something to eat and come back, so you can enjoy the views and the sounds. And yeah, we're flying over a nice western France. Should hit the English Channel pretty soon, hitting the very southern tip of England over there before going to Ireland. And it's very important to keep those power settings correct, because that's the healthy way of getting predicted performance out of the airplane as a whole, but also that's a way to keep the engines from blowing up. So that's something to keep in mind and deal with. As you can see, the speed is bleeding out a little bit, bleeding off. So I'm going to pitch down just a little bit. I'm going to make sure the power setting is still there. Yep, look at the power setting. It's not holding up. So yeah, now I'm at full throttle. See, that's all I can get from the airplane. So we still got 1,000 feet to go, well, 1,200 feet to go. So you see, it's really struggling when you get this high. Kind of bled the energy off a little bit there. 180 is really where I want to be. So I'm just gonna keep this pitch at 500 feet per minute. I think we're getting some of the speed back. We have 1,000 feet to go, so we can do it in, like, we can just maintain this situation for 2 more minutes and then we should be fine. Then we'll cruise it up, set it up for a nice cruise, and go enjoy some downtime, just managing the fuel and the engines for the time being. Navigation is taken care of. We have Jersey VR over here, and let's see what we're doing. Open the charts here. So yeah, Jersey VR, and then what is that? Land's End VR in the very southern tip of England over there. Yes, see, the speed is bleeding off again, so I'm going to get it to a very nice shallow climb. I don't think I can get any more power out of the engine for now. I don't think... Let's see what happens if I... Oh, it's not... Oh, I can get so much more power from the engine because we're not... Yeah, we're not being... AI flight engineer, what's up, man? You're not leaning us. Maybe that's part of the power management? I'm not even sure. There you go, 200 for now. Oh, come on, dude. Not cool, man. See, that's what it means to be captain. Not to do everything, but to make sure everyone is doing their job. And if they're not, you're gonna smack their head and make sure it's getting done. Not really, but kind of really. Sometimes. I wish it wasn't the case, but sometimes that's what it means to be captain. Anyway, we're getting much better performance now. So here's the 180. We can pitch up a little bit. We have 300 feet to go for 20,000 feet. That was crazy. You saw how much power we were missing just because we needed another inch of mixture over there. I know, the second officer, yeah, it's the flight engineer. They're not second officer, they wished. But it's the flight engineer, it's not a second officer. The hierarchy of the airplane, kind of, yes.
3, 2%, 10%.
Okay, let's see what they meant. First of all, let's cruise it up. So here we go. We're leveled off. Now let's see what they're saying. They're saying that we have low fuel in the tank, so we'll deal with it in just a second. First things first. Let's make sure that we're leaned to the accurate position. So, you know, let's first things first. Let's set things to roughly where we want them. So you see, we're getting a lot more power by leaning. So let's see how much further we should be leaning. And we can also see probably the where is it? The fuel flow going down. Where is the fuel flow? Where's my fuel flow? Is this? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So just getting to the peak over there, and then we should start losing power. So yeah, you're seeing as I'm leaning, I'm getting less and less fuel into the engine. And boom, here we go. That's the peak. So I'm just gonna be just rich of peak, right? So I don't want to let the engines completely die. So I'm gonna give them just a little bit more fuel than the peak. And now let's set the previously. So we said 160 BMP over 2250 over 2250 RPM. So let's get the BMEP low. Let's set it to 160. Now I'm going to set the RPM. Actually, let's do it this way, and then 2250 on the RPM. You can see at the top over there, which also reduces the BMEP. There we go. Now everyone can breathe in the cabin. 160. And let's see the output that we want. Let's see that the engines are happy. Oil cooler flap, the oil outlet is in a good range. The cylinder head temperatures are a little bit high. So I definitely want to open a little bit the cowl flaps. Let's get the AI flight engineer. It's not doing much right now anyway. So cowl flaps open a little bit further to get the cylinder heads under control. Now it's a good green range, I would say. And it's gonna get colder and colder as the airspeed is increasing. Actually, it's good. It's a good range. Okay, so now let's deal with the fuel. We're definitely almost depleted 2 and 3, so I want to go to 2A and 3A. So we don't need any cross-feeding. All we need to do is get 2A and 3A fuel pumps on. Then we get the fuel selectors to 1, 2A, 3A, and 4, and then we can turn off the fuel pumps for 2 and 3, and make sure that the fuel pump, the fuel pressure, is doing well, which it is. Let's see that we're getting 600 and something, 650 roughly per engine per 630 pounds per hour per engine. So everything is looking absolutely fantastic. We have a little bit of reserve fuel here, in spare fuel in 2 and 3, but I don't think we're gonna need that. 3,000 pounds in 1, a little bit less than that in 2A. Yeah, we're fine. Anyway, enjoy the cruise, guys. I'm going to step off the cockpit for just a short break, and when I come back I'm not going to necessarily talk your ear off. So let's re-adjourn probably around 45 minutes to landing. You can see the time to landing here in the GPS. So yeah, like in an hour 15 or so, an hour 10, re-adjourn and talk about the approach. In the meantime, enjoy the flight and the views, and I will see you in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain speaking. Getting close to Shannon. Should be on the ground within 25 minutes or so. Start our descent from 20,000 feet. Right now still in smooth weather, so seatbelt signs remain off at the time being, so it's a good time to start preparing for the arrival. When we get to Shannon, looking like light winds to the north, good visibility, few of broken clouds, 4 degrees Celsius, so definitely get your coats ready. And we're going to land from the south north eastbound and get to our gate. Once again, on behalf of Pan American and the entire crew, thanks for flying with us, and we'll see you all very soon on the ground. Hey guys, Vita here. We are starting our descent. So like you just heard, I hope you've managed to enjoy this nice little cruise we had there to grab something to eat and enjoy the service. We do have the long leg to New York ahead of us, so that's coming. But we are descending into Shannon. Looks like we're gonna hit some clouds and therefore some icing conditions in a bit. I do want to get the flight in. I did set up the runway 06 in Shannon ILS, so that's 109.5. We got on number 2 we have Shannon VOR DME, and you can see we're 85 miles away, therefore we started our descent from 20,000 in a nice shallow rate. I'm gonna let the GPS keep flying us over there, and should I do the procedure turn all the way? I don't know, because to save time I might just get us vectored to the, or rather flown from Cork VOR to the final approach of runway 06, so we'll see. Instead of just flying loops around the area for absolutely nothing. So Shannon, so as you heard, weather should be nice. We should see the runway well in advance, but the ILS is set with 109.5 and final pressure 056. Decision altitude is 246, which is about 200 above field elevation, which is 46. MSA is 3,000 through most of the sectors in case we go mist approach. It's going to be 3,400. Mist is climbing straight ahead to 9.5 DME. Then climbing to 4,000 and left turn back inbound to the VOR and holding. It's a 3-degree glide slope, happy on both sides and aisles, and we need 750 meters of visibility. We have unlimited visibility, or 10 kilometers. I'll get the flight engineer back on and get the before descent checklist.
Before descent checklist. Autopilot servo disconnected levers. Ordnance lights.
Set.
Altimeter set.
Set.
Engine superchargers low. Fuel pumps.
1, 2, 3, 4, high.
Fuel tank selector.
1, 2 alpha, 3 alpha, all on and confirmed.
Tank 5 and fuel crossfeed levels.
Closed.
Cabin pressure.
Cabin pressure confirmed for landing.
Landing weight.
Landing weight checked.
Before descent checklist completed.
Okay, as you see, the flight engineer is not doing their job here in terms of fuel management, so therefore I am going to take over again. So thank you, flight engineer. And let's get 1, 2A and 3A. Oh, my bad. You see the fuel pressure drop and back on. Everything does look okay. The oil is cooling. We're keeping the cruise power set for now. And getting these on the richer side so we don't suffocate the engines. So that looks okay for the time being. Back to 160 on the BMEP. And yeah, definitely some icing conditions. So the pitot heats are on. We can see, oh, that's the shores of Island. That's cool. Pitot heaters are on. Let's get the Nessa on. Nessa power. And I don't think we need to actively de-ice yet. If we do have some ice accumulations, then we will actively use it. Yeah, just to save some time here, I've preloaded the approach and we're going to set the GPS to fly us to the basically to the beginning of final. As you know, I could fly the whole approach. It's just, to be honest, it's just not really. It's just time consuming for no reason. Oh. Why do I not see you here? Okay. Here we go. There was a connection problem, but it got solved. We're going through 14,000. Nessa is on. The pitot heaters are on. Panzers are sat down. And yeah. Transition altitude is 5,000. Transition level, we'll call it 6,000, so that's when we're going to set the altimeters. Yeah, everything is looking fantastic. Look at the nice clouds around here. Shores of Ireland. Temperatures are looking good, as they would, because it's exactly the setting I had for cruise. And since we're just descending, we're just increasing the airflow over all the components, so everything is cooling just slightly better. Can increase the rate of descent a little bit. And as we pass above this VOR here, we're going to get ourselves direct to final approach fix. Since we're out of the clouds, we're going to keep all the electrical anti-icing components on. It's not like I'm using any preservant. Alright, as we're going through here, let's activate the approach, which means it'll now fly us directly to the approach. Activate approach. So when you hit activate approach, it should really take you to final. Since it's not, why is it not? We'll do it again. Load and activate. So it's not doing it, isn't it? Is it? Let's just do direct to this point here. Oh, excuse me. Let's do direct to here, to the FAF. There we go. This should take us away from the weather as well. flight attendants, please take your seats. Thank you.
ISO boost.
Off.
Mixtures.
Auto ridge.
Fuel pumps.
1, 2, 3, 4. High.
Carburetor. Air.
Cold.
Auxiliary control boosters.
On.
Manifold.
Set.
RPM.
Set. Roger.
Brakes.
Set.
Landing checklist completed.
Prepare for landing.
Roger. 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 Roger.
Do we have the runway? Not sure. It should be there, I believe.
Roger. Power set.
There it is. That's the runway. Going for the visual.
Autopilot is disengaged.
Flap 60. Gear down.
Flaps 60% set. Gear is down.
Turning final. This beast really does not like slowing down. Like I said, I think that's not realistic, and I'm waiting for the next version to make it more realistic. Flaps 80%.
Flaps 80% set.
Flaps 100.
Flaps 100%.
And a little bit on the higher side, so keeping on the descent. Power is idle now. It should not be this difficult to keep this speed down. Nevertheless, the final is looking good. The checklists are complete. See 2 reds, 2 whites. Going back to the glide slope as well. It's a really nice area here. Really beautiful approach. Here we go. On glide. Careful not to get too high again. Yeah. Idle thrust, that's not correct for sure. But I'll try with the speed management. Getting a little low here, correcting. Some power in there, 120 is a good speed. On glide, on localizer, 2 reds, 2 whites. Fairly calm wind. If there is any wind, it's almost down the runway, maybe a little bit from the left. Speed is getting high again. Here we go. Now we're slightly crabbing to the left. That looks good.
$500
Stabilized.
feet. 400.
Okay, I'm visual. I'm going slightly lower than the pappies because I'm aiming for the aiming
300.
points. Power idle.
50, 30, 20.
No-go speed. Reverse.
Speed down.
Alright, and we are here, guys. See if we can make this taxiway. Whichever this is. Oh, it's a closed one. It's one of the many closed ones. So the next one is Charlie to the right, which we're going to take. It's going to be a rather long taxi. Nevertheless, we made it. Alright, let's get some work done.
After the landing checklist. Coal flaps.
Set.
Oil cooler flaps.
Set to 30%.
Fuel pumps.
1, 2, 3, 4, off.
Master RPM control.
Set.
Auxiliary control boosters. Off. Wing flaps. Rotor flaps up. After landing checklist completed.
Yep, so the flight engineer is doing most things, but as I did some things on my own, I have to reverse them on my own, such as the heating elements from the anti-ice. Okay, turning right here onto Delta.
Flaps up.
And as we can see, the parking area is all the way over there. So that's where we're going. So while we're taxiing over there, I just want to tell you guys, I did run the numbers for the Atlantic crossing, and guess because of the winds, we cannot make it as a straight flight all the way, a direct flight all the way to JFK. We would have to make an operational stop in Gander, Canada, which is exactly what they used to do back then, depending on the winds. So Gander is showing about 9 hours of flight time. So I'm hoping, so we'll shut the engines down, take about a 15-minute break, and then log back in for the Gander flights. Which would then leave us just a short flight, kind of like we did today, which would get us all the way to our ultimate destination, JFK. We'll take that parking over there. Right next to the ground crews that are eagerly waiting us. Oh, I guess it's blocking us a little bit. It's okay, we'll just stop right close by here. That is good enough right there. Fantastic. Parking checklist.
On parking checklist. Brake selector level. Emerge. O dilution.
Set.
Engine 1 ignition off. Engine 4 ignition off. Engine 2 ignition off. Engine 3 ignition off. Chokes on. Ordnance lights
Set.
stairs checked. Doors
Open.
pins on. On parking checklist completed.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen,
Ordnance lights
Off.
are we done? Every time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. Welcome to Shannon, Ireland. For those of you who are deplaning here, I'd like to thank you for flying with us, and I hope you enjoy Shannon and Ireland, and have safe travels. Those of us who continue with us across the Atlantic, we are scheduled to depart out of here in about 40 minutes from now. So while we review the paperwork and get some maintenance function done, and get everything finalized, you're welcome to step off the airplane for the nearby terminal to stretch your legs a little bit, and we will commence boarding in approximately 25 minutes from now. Thanks for flying with us, and we'll see you in just a bit.